This is just sort of what I would share with children about what I've experienced, how it works, and how beautiful it is, and what I call the genius of first spark sounding like creation spheres joined as one as a massive whirlpool. So, because of the speed at which I become aware of everything that's happening simultaneously when you're running a full capacitor Christos Sophia avatar, your sensing ability is just like you know it's a lot. That's a lot of bits and bytes. So if I don't stop, if I'm going to share something and write it down, it's gone. And that actually applies directly as an application of consciousness, cellular direction, the direction that we're going in with the top spin breath spiral, the first spiral of creation. And that has to do with unconditional love. So I've mentioned in a number of my other videos the experiences that I've had communicating with others, what they have learned through me because we were together. We were communicating with each other. Okay, so I'm learning about her, she's learning about me, or he's learning about me, I'm learning about him. So their cells are communicating with my cells are communicating with their cells. So these are antennas, which are temples, which are templates, right? The language, if you will. Lang, you age. No, we don't age. The first eternal Christic spar doesn't age. That fire is always on, which means that light is always on, which means that light is never off. It's always on, which means the first spiral is eternally awake. You notice how they use the word awake, and then how that gets defined through the religious indoctrination programming about what awake is. The corpus in the box, the cube. I know, the red and black cube. So I wrote down here, Matrix Water World Star Maps, Hydrocarbon Holographical User, Electrodynamically Linked, D, Diamond Plasma Waves, being one massive whirlpool of Christos Sophia Gaia ascending healing frequencies of the higher octave. Rebuilding is restoration, which is recovery, right, of the first music. But mu is not sick. See how that works? Particularly with those of us that remember as child, and they use the word sick. If I experience being ill and we label the name as a language, a mathematical order sequenced in cells, nuclear power of cells, you see how that works with music. Mu is sick. No, I am mu. Okay? Mu ave, aya, Kristalla, Jadunaya, the eternal flame of ADAMA. Eka sha into door A. Door A is door one, the first one. So I was reminded to share some experiences because I did a number of videos about Aaron. Okay? And so I shared when Aaron mentioned to me one day, I'm going as acidic as I can. And I'm going, I'm not going to say nothing, you know. And so what I mentioned to Aaron is that by their calendar, I'm 7'2", which is 9, right? Years of age, okay? Because I was born in 11/10/3, 51. And which is 9 again, yeah. And so you see how that works with 12 and 3s and 1 and 4s and the multiplication and dividers, you know, cells that are multiplying and dividing themselves so that the first cell can experience more of what it's giving to all the other cells that are accelerating to build a universe, a communication platform, the first cause light, Cosmeta Cosmaya, joined as one. So one of the things that I mentioned to Aaron when he was asking me for money, I'm reminded that if I give you money, I'm actually participating in a war crime, Aaron, by loaning you money, giving you money, because you're going to use that money, which is dark money, to go run a self-suicide program, to keep digging that hole darker and darker for yourself so you're never getting out of that black hole because you can't zero out your book, your life book, your record, your recordings, your sound buffering speed, your sound buffering stereo speed. So when I would gift him money, I would tell Aaron, listen, Aaron, I know you know me, okay? A Manu, okay? He called me a cube one day. Yeah, that's right. A hyper unit, which is hypersensitivity, which means I'm very, very hypersensitive. Because I'm in love with all my cells. I'm in love with all your cells. So that all the cells are experiencing being loved in perfect balance with the first cell, the first star, the first Christic eternal star is always on, gifting forever and always. Forever. See, the four-way tetrahedron, equal distribution from the center point of origin, the fire inside the cell. Just like if you go down to a gun shop and buy some ammo, you'll see what are known as center fires. That little cap, right, it's got a powder charge in it. Now you're into velocity in pounds per square inch of pressure, right? And so I would share with Aaron, listen, Aaron, this is how it is for me, okay? Once I have given you electrons in the form of a number on a piece of paper, please understand, it's gone, okay? I don't ever want to see it again. I don't even want to remember it again. So if you tell me that you're going to give that back to me, please do not do that. Because then it's going to remind me of the past, of what I gave you for free, that is eternity. You see how that works? Now I'm back to when I'm a little kid giving everything away. Getting back to zero, but I'm always at home. Right? Gaining mass, losing speed. Gaining speed, losing mass. Money is the illusion. Right? Chasing electrons, going nowhere fast. Right? So when you know that as a small child, you're metering your journey as you go. Right? As to the variable speeds of how we're using energy, how we're managing the energy of a Merkaba system. Right? To always experience perfect balance, to maintain the balance between the polarities, right? So we're always equally sharing across the entire spectrum. And so I would mention that to him because once it's given, okay, that's a gift. I'm not giving you something, Aaron, and then you pay me back because then there's a condition attached to that. And when I give you something, it's a gift. It's free. Right? Because that's what the first star does. Love is what love does. Love is a gifter. That's an eternal gifter. That's an eternal blessing, which is an eternal turnkey. Turn the ignition on, right? Ignite the engine. Ignite the first engine, right? Hey, now we're running on you. The first you. Whoa, the first you. The first uni. The first unicycle, the first cell that's cycling itself, experiencing being on fire to gift energy away, that's precisely correct. And that is high precision, which means there are no errors, which is called no tolerance. I learned something about tolerance working for a few companies when they were wanting to build things that related to nuclear power plants or building weapon systems, right? Weaponized consciousness to build machines, weaponized machines, AI weaponized machine code. Remember the movie Terminator, Rise of the Machines, Ma-Chi, Fib of No Chi. And so they had what's called mil-spec. Oh, the specification, which means the tolerance, which means we're not going to tolerate that what we're going to build and apply our consciousness to run as a machine, we need those tolerances. You know, like a gun barrel or a hydraulic gauge that goes in an M1, what is it, an Abrams tanks? I forget the number designation on it. But the tolerance on that is like 0.00004. Whoa, you want that to be a tight coil. So that's called a map, mapping specifications in what we build or assemble, and thus we experience in our mirror with a graphical user interface. The visual mathematics, the nuclear codes, the nuclear sequences of waves, frequency, running a programmable radio set, right? Raw D-I-O. Raw D-I-O, the spirit in the radio. Hey, like a rodeo. And so I would remind Aaron that once I give this to you, it's gone. I don't want to have to remember it. Because otherwise, my consciousness can be held in the density at which you operate at, which means I could be gone in a day. But if I got to stick around in order to wait for you to give me something back, it may or may not ever come because you might go somewhere else in the universe and I never see you again. That means I do not place any expectations on you, Aaron, ever, to do anything. What you choose to do out of your own free choice is up to you, not up to me. So what it is that I'm doing is a free choice to give you something, and that's exactly what it is. So I don't want it back. Otherwise, it's not unconditional love. Unsa, first one, gifter. So there are no conditions. I'm not going to make an agreement with you, is what that means. This is for free. Like, in other words, the first eternal Christic star doesn't need a contract in order for its cells to experience pure, eternal, absolute love. It's always on the job. That's a self-contract, which is a cell, which is a self. The first self, which is a first cell, is experiencing itself eternity, eternally gifting electrons. So the light is always on. First light, which is first sunlight, which is real light, which is a living spirit breathing pure eternal energy. That's us. Okay? Chosen to serve forever. That's called free choice. Fused with the first sun. Cosmina Cosmaya. Aurora rainbow spheres. Yeah. So that's what it's all about. So I enjoyed the company that I had while Aaron was here. God only knows where he's at today. But that's what we do. We share what we learn through experience. And if it has any value to you in which you can translate that, make any logical sense out of that, logical sense out of that, then maybe you'll apply that to your own state of consciousness and realize that when you're gifting electrons, you're moving at a higher rate of speed because you're experiencing zero mass, non-polarized consciousness, non-reactive. Hey, now I'm experiencing chemical reactions, the electromagnetic spectrum. Whoa. Now I can see me. So everything that I am is what you are. We're gifting love to forever and always. Always. The four-way tetrahedron. Have a beautiful day. We love you all.